So this is a test number 1. I'm practicing the Super Mario World castle theme. I've programmed my Kurzweil to try and play as many parts as I can at the same time. I can't get every single one of them, but I've done some kind of interesting trickery to pull some neat things off. So I'm going to play a little section and explain what's happening in each section, and then eventually, not now, but in the future, I will have a video of me playing the whole thing properly. I'm still learning a lot of the parts. I only started this maybe 3 days ago, so I've got a lot of work left ahead of me, but let's see how it goes. So right off the beginning is the opening. And in the Super Nintendo, it's actually panned, and I've done the same thing with the keyboard. So on the left-hand side, my voicing's down here. On my right-hand side, my voicings are up here. So here it is. Okay, so the next section is like these strings. These going do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And what it is, on my right hand, I've got it so that it'll play on note down and note up. I could do it like double fast, like that. It's not a matter if I can do it or not, it's just why bother when I can do it this way. And it sounds more like when string players are going left and right, they're going back and forth. It's kind of the same idea, like you're instead of the same note over and over. So on the left hand, just the bass. And then I've also got the French horn section, which is in here. Now there's a span that I can't reach. Like it's a big section. So this one note here, the C, actually has the low F, so I don't have to do this ridiculous span that I can't reach. So it sounds like. But when you put it into context, it sounds like this. And then the big orchestra. Well, okay, so I messed up. That's okay. Okay, so let me explain what I'm doing back a little bit. So we've got that thing. What I'm doing is I'm actually changing sounds with a foot pedal. So here, this will actually increment the sound. So if I'm going like this, it just changes the sound. So I've got all the sounds in sequence. That way I don't have to take my hands off the keyboard. So when I'm going like this, so when I'm going, I can go like that. Okay, so what's going on here? There's a couple different things that I'm doing. I've got timpani way down. I've got big strings on the left hand, nothing there. And then I've got an octave string up here, so I don't have to play up here, because it's like 4 octaves basically spread in 2 hands. It's not, or 5 octaves. It's not going to happen. So I just spread everything and kind of mushed it together. So I've got this. Then I've got this, the low end, and then I've got the timpani. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 octave spread. So together it sounds like this. Whoops. I did there is I've got all these zones that are available, like it's big sound, right? I've got a switch on the left-hand side that, hear this? When I press it, it keeps just that high octave, so I can do that downwards run. So, yeah. So it keeps less strings, and then I can go. Okay, so a couple things going on. This section is really hard for me. I'm still working on it. These arpeggios are retarded. So, like, very, very difficult. So it's, you're starting off and it's just ascending and then descending C minor. And then diminished. That one's in F sharp minor, or F minor. C. And so it's very, very slowly. It's so it's that over and over, and then you've got the left hand, which is doing two things. So it's doing like whole notes. So together it's and then it does this weird thing where I've got another layer that's going. It's actually in the Super Nintendo. You can hear it like doing this weird wonky like slidey thing. So I've got a single layer that's monophonic in the background in the split. So the first run through it's just like these whole notes, and then the second time through you're going. At the same time as doing the arpeggios. I need practice to get this like really, really tight, but this is what it kind of sounds like. Yeah. Crap. Okay, nothing special here, just that transition. In the Super Nintendo, the original version still has that going on in the background in this section where it's going like... I tried to find ways that I could play it live, just not happening unless I sequence it something, and I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it as live as possible. So yeah. So this part is another finger mess. I've got basically three parts happening simultaneously. So I've got this running section, like your bass. Okay, I've got this, which is going... And then... and so on. Now, while this melody is happening, there's strings and bells at the same time. There's the bass, but there's in the background this other thing that kind of goes. So what I've done is I've assigned these just to four specific notes, and the notes, as I scale through the patches, the pitch automatically changes on these four notes for me. So I don't need, I can play the same 4 notes over and over. I tried to do it in a live scenario where it's like you're actually playing the right notes. It just doesn't fit on the keyboard. There's not enough hand span. I don't have enough hands. So I had to try and toss it in. And so I'm still working on getting the coordination for it all. But generally, if I play it broken, you can kind of get an idea of what it sounds like when I'm doing this. I don't have all the notes ready, so... So there's a lot happening all at the same time. The hardest part for me right now is keeping like this. Doing that as well as doing the bass. And the bass part by itself is just going... no, it's going like this. So doing that at the same time as doing like it's going to take some practice, but that's basically the whole thing, is all these fast sections, and then doing, let's see if I can kind of fumble my way through it, where I'm going like this. Kind of like that. Now I just need to practice it to make it smoother. And that's basically the whole thing, and then it just starts back over from that fast section again where it's going. And so on. So that's it. Hopefully my next video is when I'm playing the whole thing through with better audio all at the same time.